Hello, I'm Manny Gonzales, an author, motivational speaker, and licensed clinical social worker in the state of Indiana. I retired a few years and had to take a break because as a result of my many years of working in the field of counseling and therapy, I developed what's called secondary PTSD, which is a reaction to all the things that I've heard over the years, that finally I began to experience the same symptoms that my patients brought in. It took me a few years after retirement. I've enjoyed life, I've traveled, and I have found that stress continues to be an interest in my life as a result of my studies, my research, and my experiences. I've developed this workshop titled 3 Keys to Survive a Mental Meltdown as a result of my going through burnout. And I authored a book titled Burn Your Bridges, Don't Look Back. In this book, I highlight the importance of thinking of what it is that stresses you out, evaluating your life. Stop and think, what is it that causes me stress in life? And many times, there's something in the past, unresolved issues continue to haunt and hound you, resulting in current discomfort and misery, bitterness. It could be something somebody did to you years ago, or something you did to somebody years ago. It could be something you did or shouldn't have done. A variety of different ways to look at it, and many times it's related to parental love withheld in relationships with your parents, with others in your family. As a result, we need to learn to let go of the past, burn that bridge, let it go, don't look back. As you do that, you will find that life becomes a little more tolerable. Stress is more manageable, it's less effective in your life, and it makes you a better functioning individual. As we look at what we can do today to make life better, begins with looking at the past. As we look at that, it's really important to forgive yourself, forgive others. The shame, the blame, the he said, she said, he did, she did has to stop. In your mind, this is a mental game. Life is a mental game. It all begins in the mind. What you think, and in your heart, what you feel determines who you are today and how you respond to situations. My 3 keys will help you minimize, manage, and reduce stress. There's no easy way to handle stress. There's no magic pill. There's no cure to speak of. There's no miracle drug. It doesn't work that way. There's many things we need to do with dealing with stress, and one of the things you can do is consider my 3 keys. That's something that will help you. It's not going to solve your problems. However, it's going to help you, because think of what causes you stress. What is your biggest stressors? It could be economics. It could be relationships. It could be a divorce. It could be medical problems. It could be a whole host of things that causes you stress. And is there any one solution? Absolutely not. No way. But there's certain things you can do to make your life better and to stop living in the past. So the first key I present, and this is based on research, major universities in the U.S., along the world, along with think tanks, do studies on everything regarding human behavior because it helps them sell products. It's all about selling. So what do we do to find out what it is that people are thinking? The research. And I study and research and analyze in my own experiences. I've come up with these 3 keys that will help you avoid a mental meltdown, which means deal with that oncoming burnout before it occurs. I've already gone through burnout, so I know what works, and some of it through personal experiences. I learn from what I go through, just like you learn from your family, from your personal, from your employment. Things that happen, you learn, and you can do better with it. My first key is develop a attitude that you're gonna become more spiritual in your life. Attend to spiritual issues, in other words. You gotta think about things other than the physical, the natural, the consumerism, the buying, the materialism to make you happy. The first thing, according to research, from my experiences, and if you research, look at studies, you will find that they will concur that attending to spiritual issues, thinking of something that's spiritual in your life. We all believe in something. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in. That's up to you to decide. But if you have something you've believed in, a certain religion, something spiritual in your life over the years, it's time to start thinking, how can I attend to that in a better way? How can I be more dedicated and determined to your religious ideas or thoughts? I do my prayers, I read my Bible, I go to church. That helps me. You may go to a different church, that's okay. You may not believe in church, that's okay. It's totally up to you. However, think about what is it that can make your spiritual life stronger, better, enhance it. One thing that I do additionally that's very spiritual for me, I love the beach. Usually you will find me on the beach in Puerto Rico. I love the beach, getting up early, walking along the white sand, seeing the little crabs, seeing so many beautiful sights, the brilliant sun, the blue sky, bright blue sky, the raging surf. It's so breathtaking. It's spiritual. That's a spiritual way that I can deal with stress. It makes me feel good. It helps me relax. I love it. But it doesn't mean anything if I don't do it, so I do it as often as possible. So if you have some spiritual desire, some spiritual history, something that makes you spiritually awake, again, going to church, reading your Bible, whatever it is, do it. Do it. Take time to do it. If it's important to you, you will do it. And if you do it, it's going to make you feel better instead of being so lazy. One of the worst things we have in our society is, of course, the couch potatoes, sitting, doing nothing. A lot of that is based on depression. However, you've got to take that first step. You've got to say, I'm going to do something for myself that's going to make me feel better, that's going to make my life more exciting and less stress, because I guarantee you, I promise you, if you start doing things that are spiritual in nature, that are going to feed your spirit, you're going to feel better. Instead of spending all that money on these things, cars, houses, clothes, whatever it is, toys. You want more toys, more of more. That's not the answer. Having toys is great. Having a new house, a car, whatever it is great. However, along with that, think about what is it that I can do in my life to lower, reduce, minimize stress. And one of the things that stands out is attending to spiritual issues. Doing things that are going to make you feel good, that are going to relax you, that are beyond the material, the natural world. And this will help you deal with what's in the past, because the past will haunt you forever. You can never get away from your past. You will never forget it. However, you can learn to balance it, to deal with it, to be forgiving. And if you focus instead on religious, spiritual matters, instead of he did this to me or she did this to me or this happened to me in the past, it's hurtful, it could be traumatic, whatever it was that happened in the past, you bring it forth and make life miserable today. As a result, let's stop living in the past. Get my book, Burn Your Bridges, Don't Look Back. Begin to attend to spiritual issues, which is my first key, and you will survive that mental meltdown. You will recover, you will feel better, you will start forgiving yourself, which is important. We all think we need to be perfect. We're all measuring ourselves against others. When I run, one thing I'm thinking is, can I beat that guy? When I'm power walking, I'm thinking, can I beat that person? When I'm saving money, I'm thinking I want more money than the neighbor. When I get a car, I'm thinking, I need a better car than the neighbor. Sometimes we're always comparing. We're always trying to meet a certain standard that's fake, that's an illusion. The only standard we need to meet is what's here. What is it that I believe in? What is it that I can be faithful to? And we're talking about spiritual issues, which means enjoying loving things. And it begins with loving yourself and loving others. But that's based on forgiving yourself and others from the past. Isn't that interesting how whatever happens in the past, whatever you're dealing with, whatever makes you bitter and angry, it's in the past and it continues to be propagated so that today you're miserable. So one way, again, of the many varieties of techniques or things you can do to begin to minimize, reduce stress is begin to attend to spiritual issues. Take that first step. What is it I can do that's going to make my life a little better today? Should I go to my church? Should I visit someone that's sick and encourage them? Should I go to a homeless shelter, a nursing home? There's so many things you can do that involve the spirit. You don't get anything out of it materially or physically, but your spirit is enhanced. You feel so much better. Begin to burn your bridges. Stop looking back. Leave it alone. Focus on religious or spiritual issues, attending your church, going to wherever it is, the beach in my case. It may be different for you. However, it's vital, it's so important. I implore you, I beg you, please begin to stop to think, what is it that's causing me so much stress? Why am I so bitter, so angry, so upset, so lonely, so miserable in my life? And if you think back and you can trace whatever it is that happened and you begin to forgive others, yourself, move forward, take that step, attend to spiritual issues, you're going to be so much better. I guarantee you, I promise. Again, I'm Manny Gonzales. I'm with Speaking of Stress, and I have 3 keys that are going to help you survive that mental meltdown. The first key is attending to spiritual issues. Thank you so much.